Hi guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with Cass. Happy Wednesday. Tonight we are going to have Mel from 13 Cents. You can follow her at 13 Cents LLC on Facebook, and she's going to tell us about all her products that she has. Hey Mel.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So we're going to talk about all the products and stuff you have and what started you in the business. We can start with what actually did get you started in the 13 Cents?
It actually happened at the bar in the King's Inn.
Oh, awesome.
We were sitting there. A girlfriend of mine was trying to get me into Young Living. I don't know if you've all heard of that. That is it's a pyramid scheme. Anyway, very expensive one. And Diane was there. Cassidy is here. Christy was there, and April was there.
Mm-hmm.
Diane was making bracelets. Christy was wrapping a stone, and April was having a beverage. And I said something about the Young Living, and Diane said, "Oh, let me try that. I got lava beads here." And I said, "You don't want to try it. It smells like ass."
Yeah.
And Christy said, "Well, if it smells so bad, why don't you do it?" And bam, there it was.
Yeah.
That's all it took. And then I started blending, and Christy and I started with getting oiled and stoned at the inn.
I remember that. I was at that event. That was a good
Yeah.
event.
We used to do that like 3 times a year. Then I started branching out and doing events with Tiffany Butler. And then I decided it was time to go legit. And I formed the LLC and started the website.
Did you have to get a license for that, or?
I had to actually, go. I did it all online, but I did have to purchase an LLC, make sure the name worked, have it run in a newspaper for a month, 2 newspapers, and it cost me about $400 doing it myself, as opposed to $1,200 going through an attorney.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I just got to share this from his page now. Shut us down on the Keeping Up with Cass page.
Yeah, I think we got away with it last time, but this time they were like, nope.
Yeah, of course, right? Okay, let's just share this real quick. All right, we're back. Perfect. Okay, what would you say your biggest challenge is, owning your own business?
Not spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And doing your own PR.
Gotcha.
That's really the most difficult. I don't have money. I didn't go out and get a grant. I didn't have money backing me. 13 Cents sustains itself. That's it.
That's good.
So everything is on me to do it.
What would you say your favorite thing about 13 Cents is?
Helping people.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that.
Helping people when you have return customers and they come back and said, "Oh my God, you wouldn't believe what this stuff did." And it's like, yeah, I would, but yay.
See, now you have a roll-on named Cassidy. Let's talk about
that. I do. Look at right here it is. Here is the roll-on named Cassidy.
Is it because I give people headaches or because I have headaches? Is that why it's called Cassidy?
Well, people have said to me, "Does Cassidy give you headaches?" And I said, "No, I love Cassidy." Cassidy, it was originally called Headaches. But when I became an LLC, I had to be careful how I tried to sell things because I couldn't say
stuff like that.
Or did that. I had to change the name. So because I made it for you, I called it Cassidy.
My mom purchased those. No, I'm just kidding.
But you don't give me headaches. I love you. And
what is your most popular product do you think you sell?
It all depends.
Yeah.
It all depends. Sometimes it's witch's brew in either oil or incense.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's last event I did, I sold out of frankincense and peppermint, just straight oils.
It just
Um,
depends where you are and
yeah, and
yeah.
the mood of the people. I used to do a lot of backflow incense burners and backflow incense, and it was kind of trendy, and they
Yeah.
went for a while, and now I don't do them anymore. And I phased out the backflow cones with incense and stuff. Once things don't really go anymore, just
Yeah.
cut the cord.
You don't want too much of the product and stuff that aren't selling and stuff. Make room for what you're
Exactly.
selling.
Exactly. I mean, I have my standards, which are I have 13 blends that I created myself.
Mhm.
Nothing I had ever heard of before, and I just made them. Then I have about 15 of things you've heard of elsewhere,
Mhm.
like allergy balm, congestion buster, that sort of thing. But they're my recipes.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask you. What you recommend for people because I know it's allergy season. What they
Yeah,
can help.
I make allergy balm. That comes in a 5 milliliter bottle like this,
Mhm.
which you could put in your diffuser or on like lava bead jewelry, that sort of thing. It also comes in a roll-on
Okay.
like this, or a nasal inhaler. Look at me with all of my accessories here.
I know. I love it. You're really prepared. I'm proud of you.
A nasal inhaler. Well, I do this now, Cass. This is what I do on Monday nights. So, a nasal inhaler, and these are really handy because you can slip them into your purse, into your pocket, whatever.
Yeah. What else was I gonna ask you? Let's see. Oh, my favorite is your lavender spray because you know how clumsy I am and how many times I burned myself.
Yes, lavender
Literally,
spray.
I have one in my kitchen. I have one in my living room. I have them everywhere.
Yeah, lavender mist. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Comes in a spray bottle. This spray is actually Moon Love Mist made with moon oil and patchouli. But yeah, they're 2-ounce bottles and they are essential oils. I use witch hazel as an emulsifier to blend the oils with water and distilled water. And that's all it is, plain and simple.
Now, are all of the stuff that you can put in a diffuser, is that pet friendly?
No,
Okay.
essential oils aren't necessarily pet friendly,
Okay.
especially in enclosed spaces. They're
Okay.
very intense. An essential oil is like 1,000 times more intense than an extract, like
Okay. Yeah.
vanilla extract or that sort of thing. If you needed peppermint and you didn't have peppermint extract, you could use peppermint essential oil, but you'd only
Okay.
use 1 drop, 2 drops.
Yeah.
If you used a teaspoon,
It's too much.
no,
Too
you
much.
wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that.
Let's see.
So there are things. I actually did make a spray for a while called Positive Pup. They were using it in veterinary clinics, friends of mine that were tech. But it really didn't go. So I stopped making it because it's a waste of oils.
Yeah. And now you said you go live on Mondays, you said?
Yes, Monday nights.
Do you go live on the 13 cents page or your personal page?
My personal page, but I do it public.
Okay. What time do you usually go on so we can let everyone know?
6 o'clock, 6 p.m. I was doing 7, but it's just too late for me
Yeah.
to.
I
I
was like,
need
yeah.
unwind time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So
I know. I'll send you text her every morning at like 4 a.m. I'm like, you guys
yeah,
are crazy.
yeah.
Do you have any upcoming events or anything you want to talk about? Let everyone know.
I have June 13th. It's a Friday. There is an event at the Esperance Elks. It is a speakeasy
Oh, that's pretty cool.
with a psychic fair.
Oh,
So
that's good.
the hours are 4 to 11,
Mhm.
and yeah, I'm going to be there for a couple hours, but my stuff will be there all night. And then there's Summer Fire Witch Festival will be coming up.
And when is
And
that?
that's August, I believe. No dates yet. And I will probably do something at the inn with your mom
Okay.
and DJ Tees.
I know. I gotta make some more shirts. I've been slacking. It's so hard with the baby and stuff, and breaking my wrist, and everything all at once.
Exactly. No, I understand that. I mean, it's just me doing this,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't use preservatives.
A bunch of science with everything. So.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't use preservatives or anything like that. So it's all got to be made semi-fresh.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just me. Hustle, stop. Hustle, stop. You know.
So if people want to order your products, you have the website, correct? That you can.
The website is 13cents.com. I'm also on Etsy, 13 Cents Aromatherapy. And yeah, they can go to Tiffany's shop in Esperance. It's 152 Main Street, Esperance, the Shop of Curiosities. It's the only place that carries my stuff.
Okay, I haven't been there yet. I'll check it out. I heard it's really cool, though.
It is really cool. It is really cool. You know, when you go out there, my nephew Scott works at the museum out there. And, you know, there's the Esperance, the Arboretum. And there's a nice meditation garden in there with a maze and stuff. It's really very a cute little small town. And it's, you know, more for going there. Go to the Landis Arboretum. That's a great day. They have trails, hiking trails and everything.
Nice. Me and my mom want to probably make a day trip out of it and go up there.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
So let's talk about the process of making your sprays, and what is your process usually of putting them all together?
Well, I have like 2-ounce bottles of blend. I blend. I take a graduated cylinder and I blend with 5 milliliters. And I blend the 2-ounce bottles. Now, when you do something like a roll-on, there's 10 drops of essential oil blend in here. I do them with fractionated coconut oil. These bottles, these little 5 milliliter bottles, are actually just full of the blend. That's all they are, straight oil blend. You do a spray. This is a 2-ounce bottle, and you put in 12 drops. I usually put in 12 drops of essential oil, a teaspoon of witch hazel, and the rest distilled water. I make salves as well, salves and cream. This is a salve. This is a salve called Scruff, which I made for myself. I have kidney disease, and it gives you a terrible motherfucking itch. All right, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's evil, and you know, I haven't found anything to touch it, and don't touch it because then it burns your skin.
Yeah.
So I made this for myself.
Now, what ingredients are in that?
What ingredients are in Scruff? Let me tell you. I gotta put on my glasses. I don't have all the recipes in my head. I do a lot of them. The main salve is coconut oil, jojoba oil, shea butter, vitamin E. And in here is cypress, fennel, helichrysum, lavender, lemongrass, peppermint, orange, and tea tree oil. So this has saved my life.
That's good.
This has made me go from living to hell to being able to stand it again. I went from putting it on every day to putting it on every 2 weeks.
Oh wow! So
I put it on. Yeah, now I put it on maybe once a month.
Wow.
If I get if I get a hot spot like a dog, I'll just put it on. But yeah, it really took quite a while for it to
Just take effect and
yeah. And then
yeah.
once it did it was off. But I do all kinds of them. I do an analgesic salve. I do Yvette, which is great for pain.
Is that like arthritis pain it helps with, or
Arthritis pain, connective tissue pain. I do Richie's salve, which it works on. Oh, I just made a sale on Etsy. I was just notified as we're speaking. It works on varicose veins, but then we found out it works on diabetic neuropathy. So there's a lot of things that work for this and for that. I've been talking to my people on Monday night, my Monday night censors, as it were, trying to explain to them what the oils, their properties are. And if you have something that has a couple of these oils in it, they can at least get you by until you get the right thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so, there's certain things. Scruff came from Richie's salve. I added 3 more ingredients, and it's like, wow, now it's amazing. I also have I do a rose exfoliating scrub. It was great, head to toe, face to feet. It's wonderful.
So does your website have a description of all like the products you have and what it helps
Yes,
with?
it does.
So if someone wants
Yes,
to go
it
to where
does.
they know what to get.
It's going to tell you what's in it, what it
Awesome.
does, all that. When I do shows, I bring out my paperwork. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but
I
it's
kind
just
of forgot my glasses too. I don't want to be all over the camera.
it is just the oils, the blends, what they do, what's in them, and their prices. Because I don't price my bottles.
Yeah.
I just price there, But they will tell you like I'll tell you what's in what is in Cassidy. Cassidy is where the hell is she?
Right here.
Oh,
No.
she's somewhere. Just not here. I'm missing a page. Okay, I won't tell you about Cassidy. I'll tell you about the salves. Like Yvette. It's gonna tell you coconut oil, shea butter, jasmine, orange, and vanilla. It was made originally for a woman with cancer to help her deal with chemotherapy. And then we found out it worked on RA and connective tissue. So, that's
So it's
I
kind of
tried
like just
to,
a different, like with like kind of not trial and error, but with different people, it helps with.
yeah,
Yeah, which is good though because you never know what can help someone. Sometimes maybe better than medication or.
exactly. And what we found out, like Richie's staff, that was originally called Vein Buster. And it was for varicose veins. A girlfriend tried it. She also had diabetic neuropathy, but she was allergic to gabapentin. And she's like, oh my God, my varicose veins are going away and I don't have neuropathy problems anymore. So,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
way you find things out is, like you said, trial and error. Just
Yeah.
use it and see what happens.
What would you give like tips or anything if someone wants to start like small business or something? What would you recommend? And how do they start?
You start by trying. I do scratch and sniffs, a little
I actually have one
card.
right in my diaper bag.
And it's a great way to at least try it, so you don't have to spend the money. I do little tiny sample bottles of. I don't have any here. Oh my God, I don't have things. Little tiny 2 gram samples of salves and stuff. You can try them. There's enough in there to see if it's going to work.
That's awesome.
When they come to events, I have little samples, and I put a scent on a strip, and you can smell it. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's good
know?
though that you do that because some people just are like, hey, this is what you got. You got it. Here you go. That's it.
Yeah. Or they'll read it and say, this has bergamot, chamomile, jasmine, lavender, rose, and sandalwood. I don't like rose. And it's like, you can't really smell the rose. There's
Yeah.
the way I hate lavender. I absolutely despise it. It's in almost all of my blends, but you
But
can't tell it's
it
there.
you don't have to worry
You
about the
know,
smell.
it has such wonderful properties, but usually it's so well blended you can't smell it. But people should, give something a try, see if you like it, see if it works for you, and then you can go from there. I've been doing some classes now on how to
Oh,
blend, just like taking 5 oils and teaching people how they can use those 5 oils to make like 13 different blends.
that's pretty cool.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out an event for us all to do at King's Inn again. That was always fun.
Yeah,
Busy.
yeah. And we have to do it's time to do a raffle basket for Montgomery County,
Yeah, I forgot about
SPCA.
that. Yeah, we can talk about that. How we do a lot of donations for the
Yeah.
Montgomery
i-
County.
If you're not going to give back, there's no sense in doing it.
Yeah.
And Montgomery County SPCA is a no-kill shelter. No-kill shelter. Not kind of not no-kill, no-kill.
Now, when do you guys
Mhm.
usually do the donations for like food and stuff?
Yep. And we usually do some cash. We could do some cash. We do Christmas for the critters, starting around Thanksgiving up until the first of the year, where we take in food, litter, toys, bedding, cleaning supplies, because the shelter needs everything.
Yeah, and they can give that to you donations or drop it off at the King's Inn, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
love that you guys do that. Give back in that way.
I do a couple things throughout the year with a basket. I just gave one to a veterans organization, people having cancer or something benefits. I do about 5 a year, aside from my Montgomery County stuff. I do the definitely 5 a year.
Oh, yeah, there's my cousin Yvonne. She said she'd love to try a sample. She does have arthritis. Arthritis runs really bad in my dad's side of the family, so you'll have to get a hold of her to get sample or
Yeah,
something.
or I can see that Cassidy or Judy gets it. I can see that somebody gets it. So
Yeah. Now, can people order samples through your website, or is it
yeah,
just like okay?
you can order the samples. You don't order the scratch and sniffs. I usually just put them in as a free gift. If you
Yeah.
want something specific, you can certainly send me a message. Right on
Okay.
through the website, you can send me a message. When you order, you can say, I want this, this, or this. Usually put 3 in. So you should the samples, the small samples are $2.
That's not bad. Yeah. So then you don't have to buy the full thing, and like you said, if it doesn't work for them, it doesn't.
Right. And I mean nothing is outrageous. All right. I have a wrinkle cream that's called Becca's Body Butter. And that is $19.
Yeah, your stuff is extremely very like reasonable price because some
Yeah.
places they just don't. Like I bought essential oils once off like Amazon just like for my diffuser, and it was like $30 just for like a little thing, and it's not like it was just
Yeah.
basic stuff too. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
No, when I started doing this, I decided I wanted to do it so it was affordable for everybody. I don't need to rape people to get rich. I
Yeah,
don't, I don't care to do that. I want to make it available to everybody. And not everybody can afford. Now, Young Living at the time was getting $40 for a bottle of this for lavender, and it smelled like ass. So,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
what thing I ordered on Amazon. It was the same exact thing, and I'm like, I think I probably used 2 drops out of it, and it was I don't even know where it is now. But
yeah, yeah. It's like call Melly, Cass. Call Melly.
I know now I got you. Now I got you on speed dial for anything I need.
No,
But
and it's and you should enjoy it, and you should be able to afford it.
let's see what else we got
That's my
here.
whole belief system.
All right, Melly, I think we're gonna go into our questions. So anyone wants to follow Mel on 13 Cents LLC on Facebook, and her website is 13cents.com.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you so much, Melly, for coming in. I really appreciate it.
I love you.
I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Fuzz, do you want to go into our email of questions we have for this week?
I can. The email's been quite active this week.
And if anybody wants to send in emails, it is keepingupwithcass@aol.com, or any topics you guys want to talk about. All right,
that is the best place to get them to. So the first question, I'm not going to read names anymore. I'm just going to give you the question straight up. All right.
Okay.
First question we got is, what was the moment you first felt like a mom?
Let's see, probably when my son kicked me in the ribs the first time. No, but really, giving birth is like a whole different like I knew as a mom, I was gonna be a mom obviously when I took a pregnancy test, but giving birth is it is a life-changing experience. It's hard to explain. I was crying, not of pain, just like all emotions at once. Like you're bringing something in this world, and it's really magical. It's wild. So yeah.
Your next question is, now, mind you, we'll save some of these for next week, obviously, because there's like 30 of them. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, there was quite a few. What is the most surprising thing you learned about yourself after becoming a mother?
I've definitely learned patience. I lacked a lot of that before. I don't know. I love being a mother. I really do. My son is my world. He's really my best friend. This morning I woke up next to him. He's rubbing my back. We're watching Trolls. It was just the cutest thing ever. He's just the sweetest. Can't wait to go down and cuddle him after this.
How did you choose DJ's name?
So Dominico is, I think it's Brandon's grandfather's name, and then the J comes from my father that passed away, James. So Dominico James Benicia.
What was your favorite?
We were going to name him. What were we thinking of? Like Dalton or Jackson? We had a bunch of random names. So I'm like, you know what? Dominico James. That is, it's not rare, and it fits him. It really does now.
Now, did you know that it was going to be a boy? Like, is that when you picked the name, or did you you have a girl name in mind?
Boy names picked out.
What was the girl name?
A boy though. I mean, Brandon's family, they only have one girl really. It's his sister. Really, his whole family.
Now, if the baby was a girl, what would the girl name be? Do you remember?
Annalise. I've loved that name since I was little. Actually, there was a girl on my sister's softball team when she was younger. And her name was Annalise. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, I'm going to name my daughter that one day. So maybe in the future, if I have another child, a girl, it'll be Annalise.
All right. So this one, it feels weird not reading names. So I'm going to do it. Angela asked you, what advice would you give to your younger self before you became a mother?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I guess I always stressed about when I was going to have a child, like if I was ever going to have a baby. But it's kind of like you can't really, I mean, you kind of say having a baby, but I don't know. I guess don't stress about it. I mean, how old you are, you know what I mean? Or when, I mean, just no one's ever actually prepared to have a child. There's no way you can financially, be prepared and stuff like that. But you don't really know until like you're a parent. I mean, like we had so many plans for this and that, beautiful nursery, all like done. And it's like our son is a child, like sleep in the nursery. It's like you just go with what works for your child, what works with your family, and stuff like that. So it's really every child's different, every family's different, different parenting, stuff like that. So once you find like a good rhythm and what's good for you, I mean, that's all you can really do.
So a gentleman named Kenneth asked, how did becoming a mother change your perspective on life, if any?
Well, I do not race anymore, really. So there's that risk factor of not getting hurt. I have to take care of my child. Wild down a little bit. I mean, it's not thinking about my life anymore. I'm thinking about my child's life. And there's no more being selfish and stuff like that because, you know, my child's going to learn what I teach him. And, you know, it's like he's following what I do, the way I talk to people or, you know, teaching them how to clean up or, you know, I mean, stuff like that. So it's like really got to watch what you do around your child because you're shaping your child right now, especially at this young age of what or how he's going to be when they're growing up. So it's tough, but you figure it out.
This one doesn't have a name written down to it. What is the hardest part about being a mother that nobody talks about?
No one really talks about like the mental health. Like no one really talks about postpartum or stuff like that. No one talks about like, you know, you can't just wake up and take a shower whenever you want anymore. You know, you're on your child's time. And I mean, it's not like it's a problem, but like before I would take 2 hours to get ready to go do something. And now it's like, if I got 5 minutes to get ready, like I got 5 minutes to get ready. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about doing my hair, makeup, or stuff like that. Like I used to go out and it's like nice shirt and stuff like that. Now I'm like, I used to have like spit up on my shirt. You don't really like, it changes you as a person. You don't like, you still care about yourself, but you care about your child more in that situation. So it's hard. And it's very hard not having, not want to say like a social life, but you find out who your friends are when you have a child as well, because there's no more really, you can just make plans randomly and stuff like that. So it's tough, but.
Denise wants to know, what is the most rewarding moment you've had as a mom?
I don't know. I feel like every day is rewarding, just being mother. I don't know. You know, when he comes up and hugs me, he calls me baby. Like he'll come up and be like, baby, and give me a hug because I'm always like, my baby. It's sweet. Or when he comes up and just yells, mommy. And I want to cry right now. I'm getting emotional about it. But it's very rewarding being a mother. Like I said, I never thought I would be a mom. So now it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
This next one's a really, really interesting question. I'm kind of curious to see what you got to say about it, but I just lost it. Where'd it go? Here it is. So was there a time that you felt overwhelmed? I'm sure every parent's like, yes, but was there a time you felt overwhelmed as a mom? How do you get through it?
So I don't know if everyone knows that Dominico had surgery when he was around 7 months, I would say. He randomly got a cyst on his tongue. And it just kept growing and growing. It started off probably, you know, I thought he like maybe bit his tongue or something. It was just when he started crawling. So then out of nowhere, it just blew up. We could barely even eat or, you know, like have a bottle or anything. And, you know, I was calling his pediatrician, you know, they were calling like, they're just like, oh, it'll go away. It'll go away. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I called Albany ENT to get him in. You know, they're telling me, you know, 3 months to get an appointment for him. And it's like, this is like a 7-month-old child. He doesn't know what's going on. And, you know, he's trying to pick at it. He's like trying to like bite on it. And it's like, I finally got in to a doctor and they had to surgically remove it. And that was probably the most painful thing ever, seeing my child like go into surgery. I mean, I don't know how my mom did it with all my freaking surgeries I had, but now I know how she felt. But it was very overwhelming when he got out of anesthesia because he didn't know what was going on. He just woke up screaming.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon could not get him to calm down, for another hour or two, and it was heartbreaking to me because I couldn't make my child feel better, and that's the toughest thing. It's like when they're in pain, I'm in 10 times more pain just thinking about it.
Absolutely. This one's a good one. So Donna is asking you, what are some of the things you wish you had known before becoming a mother?
Oh my God, how bad newborn poop actually freaking smells. No one ever talks about it. No one talks about that. Or how fast you actually have to change a boy's diaper because they will pee on you. And they will rip their diapers off whenever they can.
You have the broken wrist to prove that, right?
Yeah, I do. Actually, it looks a lot better than it did, but
did you get the times where like you go to change the diaper and it's like halfway up their back and you're like, how did that happen?
I'm not good now. I am not yet. I mean, I had one blowout with him. Probably the worst thing was it was when he was younger. Had him in the playpen and go into the kitchen for a second, come back, and I'm like, where's your diaper? And then I see he literally pooped on my pillow. I was gone for 1 minute, not even. This is when he was like a little bit younger. He was pooping on my pillow, threw the diaper, crossed out of the playpen. I don't know how he threw it out of the playpen, but he's probably a football player with that throw that he had. But
there you go.
No one telling me about stuff like that. I mean, it's funny now, but it was like, my goodness, right in the bath we go, washing all the clothes, washing all the pillows, blankets now.
Now, is there anything else that nobody told you about before becoming a mother?
That your child will be into literally every single thing. And it's like you can buy them the most expensive toy, but they'll want to play with Tupperware. The most random stuff, but not their actual toys. They want, like Dominico's saying he likes playing with Wii remotes or like TV remotes. My poor mother, she has like 4 TV remotes for the Roku, and we couldn't even find one the other day because Dominico took them all, just hid them somewhere.
Well, just think
all these toys and crazy stuff for a child. They'd be pretty just okay with Tupperware and a ladle.
Keep him on that tech path. He could be your technical director for the show.
Yeah. Take it over.
Oh, here's an interesting one. So, how, if any, did your relationship with your own mother change after you had your child?
I mean, I've always appreciated my mother, but if I have a stressful day or whatever, like, I don't know, I call her probably 15, 20 times a day just to vent and talk or ask her questions about Dominico. And it's like, if I ever need her to come over and help me with anything, especially when I broke my arm, my mom was here at 5 a.m. every single day to be here when Dominico woke up to help me and stayed until Brandon got home from work. And she really helped me out a lot and still does. And I appreciate her for that.
Yeah, it's great to have that support system for sure, especially with you're learning the ropes. You're trying to like figure it all out because there is no handbook. You know what I mean? They don't come with a book or an instruction manual. You know what I mean? They don't.
For like, well, I do have those books of what to expect, like when expecting stuff like that. But my mom said that's what she did when she was pregnant with me. But it goes by like months and stuff like that. Like you're gonna expect this, and like that's what you do. But every single child is different, and my child is definitely a little Cassidy. So I do have my hands full sometimes. But
God help us all. Here's another good one. I think we'll wrap up on this one, but here's another good one. We'll save the rest of them for next week.
Yeah, that's what I want to say too before I forget. The next one will be June 4th, because we're going to start doing every 2 weeks. And we're going to move it back to 6 p.m. And hopefully we will have it on the Keeping Up with Cass page. So if you guys have not followed that yet, make sure you guys go over and follow that. And make sure you follow the Fuzzing Rock Show too, because he has been helping me out when my stream is not working on my page. Even though I hate him,
You don't hate me. You just can't stand me a lot.
I know, hate is a strong word.
All right, so let's try this one. We'll end with this one.
Okay.
How did you handle moments when you didn't know what to do as a parent?
Call my mother. Honestly, this sounds like crazy, but I Google like a lot of stuff, like especially in the beginning. Like Dominica was having issues with, like when we first brought him home from the hospital, he was just screaming and screaming and screaming, and it's like I would start breastfeeding, and it's like I wasn't really producing milk yet in the beginning, so
Mhm.
he was starving. So I, just called my doctor the next morning and I said, hey, like we're first time parents, we don't really know what to do, and it's like sometimes people feel like weird asking questions like that, but it's like you'll never know if you don't ask, and it's very helpful. I mean, reach out to anyone that has kids or whatever, and it's really all you can do. I mean,
Yeah, that
I
support system is
I
definitely
called my
key.
pediatrician for like everything little thing. I literally have her on my speed dial.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
All right, Tess. I think that's
Well,
about it.
that is a show, my friend.
That is. So make sure you guys go over to 13 Cents LLC and follow Mel's page, and go to 13 Cents if you want to order any samples or any of her products that she talked about tonight. And she does go live on Mondays. So make sure you go over to her page and check out her live. And also, the King's Inn, they are doing open mic night on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And they usually have food out. Bring your guitars, bring your voices, bring any instrument you want, I guess. So that's about it, guys. Make sure you follow our page as well. And we will see you guys again June 4th. And that'll be at 6 p.m. on that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fuzz. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.